Yeah, okay.
This is a ghetto podcast.
Yeah, fuck, Yeah. Let's see the gun again? Oh, is it? Okay, looks real, looks nice.
Show the bullets, not the fucking magazine.
You say it is a BB gun? Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. Yeah.
Gun
nice.
in the butt.
You got more? You got a nice collection? Do you have to apply for a license out there,
Arizona,
or you just get it?
The Wild Wild West. I don't give a shit.
Fucking so lucky.
Or Mexico. Yeah, we've been recording this whole fucking time, dude. I've been recording this whole time.
Okay, I've been recording too. You know.
Fucking retard.
Okay. Yeah, man. How's it going, guys? This is welcome back to Truckers Trucking with Trucks podcast. I'm out here, the beautiful, very outside day. It's very beautiful out here. So how's it going with you guys?
Everything is good.
Just woke up.
How you doing, Rob?
Fucking just woke
yeah.
Up.
Yeah. I guess it's still early there, eh?
No, it's 10 o'clock, but I was up for like 23 hours driving and shit and doing all kinds of shit, and I went to sleep at 2:30 this morning.
So isn't it illegal to be on the road that long?
Yeah, well, it is illegal to drive continuously that long, but the way I had to do everything, I had to like take 8-hour breaks and shit between there, and I wasn't able to sleep, so that's just what happens sometimes. It's just doesn't know anything about that. He's gay.
Yeah, I'm not a road trucker. I'm local now, so I'm always local. I'm always home, I mean. So I think last podcast went pretty well. I think that's what this podcast needed was a better guest than Robert.
We're just gonna kick you out, Jesus. It's just gonna be us.
cut out the middleman. Yeah.
You guys are making me produce it. No, but yeah, I'm pretty much the producer here. Yeah, it takes so long, man, because it took a long time just to get that shitty quality of audio from Robert. I was mostly working on his audio, not yours.
How many hours did you put into it?
Oh man, just the last night before I uploaded it, I put in about 3.5 hours.
Well,
holy shit, that's a lot of work, eh?
And that's not including. No.
Shitty fucking microphone you gave me.
It's clear quality. You heard my voice, right? And I sounded clear and really good.
Yeah, well, you gotta get a fucking microphone that's not gonna pick up the fucking truck or anytime I fucking hit a rumble strip on the side of the fucking road.
That's not this type of microphone. That's its fault. It's just meant for we need to get you a different type of microphone.
It's a microphone.
Anyways,
the last episode I mentioned down the road for me that sometimes they have the people protesting abortion, right?
Oh yeah.
That I wanted to go by and throw coat hangers at them.
Yeah.
So I actually did it yesterday and filmed it. I don't know, Zeus, did you see it on the Legion of Skanks thing?
No, I haven't.
No, okay. So it wasn't the greatest video. I should do another run, but I had my phone and my camera stuck onto the window on the inside, and then as I drove by, I threw a bunch of baby-sized coat hangers at the group of people out there. It's fucking hilarious.
These fucking anti-abortion people.
Got a lot of hate from people on the internet after I posted it.
Yeah, we're like pro-lifers.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though.
Yeah, was it pro-lifers?
I don't know. For Legion of Skanks, it seemed like there was a lot of really sensitive people. Like, not everybody found it funny.
Same shit. If you go to the Legion of Skanks Reddit lately, I feel like it's being infiltrated by fucking liberal crybabies. It's the same shit. It's just people complaining about the shit they say sometimes. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. That's not what we're here for.
I was thinking maybe they were trolling though. Like maybe they're just doing that just to be trolling, but I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a comment that you posted at him. It said you found it was a proud moment story.
Yeah.
And somebody commented under it saying, "I'm calling CPS."
Child Protective Services. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I just commented under it saying "fag."
Yeah, I seen it.
No, CPS for Canada, so that's the Canadian Protective Services.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, but we were that's where we left off on was the abortion, and you recorded it. Oh man, I'm gonna download that video and then upload it with this episode. I'll put it right now.
I mean, I'm gonna do a better one. Tomorrow on my way to work, I'm gonna have my wife's gonna be driving, so I'll be in the passenger seat, and I'll be able to get a way better sidearm. And,
okay.
There'll probably be more people out there too, because I went pretty early in the morning.
Then yeah, I'll wait for that one, and then if you upload it, I'll download it.
Yeah, okay.
That's pretty funny. You have to yell "All Lives Matter" at the same time now.
That'll be pretty good too.
Just hit everybody at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just hit every political group as you go out. Oh man. Yeah, you said we left off there, and you would also. I never got the question. I wanted to ask you a question. I never got to it.
Mm-hmm.
For as in Canada, like what is there to do out there for fun?
A lot of hockey. I guess kids are skateboarding has kind of gotten popular, scootering and shit. I guess because I'm a dad, that's the only thing I go do with my kids. So I don't really do much. I guess people go to bars and do drugs.
I just go smoke some weed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I do with my kids.
I think every city and town's the same. It's got its shitty areas, and everybody's doing the same shit everywhere. People are just on their phone.
I think here in Tucson, we got a lot of pretty cool things to do. You can do like race kart driving, no hockey, but you can go hunting, fishing.
No, we have a hockey team now.
Do we?
Yeah, the fucking Roadrunners. They play down at the TBC.
Yeah?
I have no idea. You see,
they're a minor league hockey team.
Have you ever played hockey, Adam?
Yeah, I grew up playing hockey, actually. I was a goalie for like... Yeah, for like 7 years I was a goalie. I had a terrible temper. I was like a horrible sport. Fucking, I'd flip if I got... So there was a point where like my coaches they'd pay me $20 if I got a shutout. So like if nobody scored on me in the game. So that's what I would look forward to every game. And so as soon as somebody scored a goal, I kind of like gave up and fucking that was it. And I hit people with my stick, fucking smash my stick off shit and get penalties and everything for flipping out, crying and shit. Just a fucking terrible sport.
Damn. How old were you when you were playing?
This
is like last week?
Like age 8 to 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
pretty good. That's cool though, because that's like the actual game where you could like if somebody like fucks with you could just fuck them up too. And you can actually fight. Yeah. It's kind of fucked up though that you can fight on the ice, but as soon as you leave the ice, you're gonna go to jail for it. Like it's
that is weird.
Free. There's no rules on the ice. Yeah, it's pretty weird. I guess lacrosse is the same way too. Those are probably the only two.
Yeah, I never understood that. I was like, wait, they can actually fight, and then the refs would just let them fight. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's about the coolest thing about it. That's the only thing. But putting on skates like you're a little princess, that's gay.
Yeah, that's like the stuff. There you go.
Yes. So I think the last story that we left off was I was talking about a jail story about
going
to jail and getting the rules on the way there. No raping.
No raping? Oh, but I don't want to hear it.
So another time, so I got arrested with a bunch of cocaine, maybe 10 grams of cocaine, and at the time I was hooked on opiates. And I'd never gone through withdrawal before. Like, I almost didn't believe it. I always thought it was, like, a ploy for people to get their drugs faster. Yeah. Like, they call and be like, oh, I feel sick. You know, I'm really sick. I need them, whatever. So I got sentenced to doing weekends. And so I had to do 10 weekends. And the first weekend I went in, so I finally, like, went through withdrawal and was feeling horrible. And all the guys I was with were like, you know, just hoop it. Just stick it up your ass and fuck, you don't feel anything and fuck whatever. And I was like, no, that's borderline homosexual shit. I'm like, there's no way I can do that. And so the second weekend came around, and I woke up that morning, and I was like, oh, fuck, man, I can't do this again sober. So I wrapped up a bunch of pills and saran wrap and everything, and stuffed them up my ass, and fucking that's where it started. And so every weekend since there, I kept bringing stuff in.
Adam, when you were putting, like, what was the mentality behind that? That's something, like, where me too, I don't like that. Like, putting, you know, some guys like the finger up the butt by their girl. Not me.
Yeah,
I feel like that's very gay. Yeah, and so like I'm like, how do you go from like being like, no, I'll never do that to like, all right, I'm gonna put this shit up my ass.
Yeah, so
Does
the
it feel good too?
withdrawals, as soon as you feel like the withdrawals, it's like probably a flu times 100 and aching and shit and no sleep and yeah, I just couldn't do it. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna do this. And it's not a big deal. It's like a fucking like
That's pretty
maybe a
big.
marble
Wow,
size or a
that's
couple
pretty big.
marbles. So you can just with your finger on the edge just kind of push it through there. But everybody thinks that's the gross part, right? Nobody talks about the real gross part is when you're squatting over the toilet and you got to shit them into your hand and you got to catch it before it falls in the toilet water because that would be gross, right? And
yeah, damn.
like, even worse than that, there's one time I went to grab pills at a hospital and so I grabbed a bunch of these oxys and I'm in the washroom and I was trying to break one up on the toilet dispenser over the toilet and it turned out they were like new pills that weren't crushable. So I went to crush it and it flew off, bounced off the side of the stall and into the toilet. And I was looking at this pill for probably like a minute and looking at it for I'm like at least a minute staring at it thinking, oh, am I gonna do this? Am I really gonna do this in a fucking hospital toilet? Pulled the pill out, fucking rinsed it off in the sink and fucking ate it anyways.
Oh man.
Just
damn.
fucking desperate times, desperate measures.
I had a question too. For when you poof shit, does that feel good?
I don't think it feels like anything. You really don't know it's there.
Did you get a boner
from
from
it?
Is what he's asking.
When you're pushing, yeah, do you get a boner from it?
Nothing exciting about it. Oh. There were stories that I heard about guys, because you know those Kinder Egg surprises, Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
No.
They're actually illegal in the States, so Zeus, maybe that's why you don't know them. But it's a chocolate egg, and inside is a plastic little egg that has a toy inside of it.
No, we have those.
Yeah,
we have
oh, you do?
Yeah, they sell them right there at the register, like the grocery stores and shit.
So then
you
fill those little plastic egg. What's that?
I heard they were illegal at 1.2 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so I thought I had read that. Yeah.
Anyways.
But so you fill the egg up with drugs, stick it up your ass. So I heard about a guy that had like 13 eggs in his ass, and somebody was telling me this story about he wouldn't give up the stuff, like he wouldn't share or whatever. He was lying about having shit in there, and so the guys held him down and douched him out with a shampoo bottle until he shit all the water and all the fucking eggs out.
Shit.
Fucking pretty gnarly.
Damn, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, but boofing was no big deal after that.
No,
so after that, I got used to keeping stuff like not in my ass, but I would tuck shit tight in my ass crack. So like if I was frisked, nobody would find it. And so I went to a buddy's house, and him and his wife were gonna grab something. They had just had a baby, and as soon as I get in the house, she sees me pull the drugs out of my ass, and she whispers to her husband, she's like, "Is he gonna wash his hands before he touches the baby?" And luckily I heard her say that. If I didn't hear her say that, I probably wouldn't have washed my hands, right? I wouldn't have been thinking about it. So yeah, it was no big deal after that.
You're like, oh, you give the little baby a Hitler mustache.
Yeah, if I hadn't been a junkie, that would have made me feel like shit. But yeah,
oh man,
that's part of the fucking life, I guess.
I think that's weird, man. That's so weird. Your friends are weird because I normally don't. I'm never around drugs. And I would definitely never put my daughter near drugs, or people who do drugs, for that matter.
Yeah, just try to keep her away for sure.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys know the goalie Curtis Joseph from hockey? NHL? No.
I don't follow hockey.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, his daughter ended up like a pill junkie around town, and people were like fucking her and feeding her pills. And I was thinking about at one point like trying to blackmail him and saying like we're gonna out your daughter as this big junkie and. Yeah, never went through with it. Didn't go through with it. You're
outing her right now. You might as well just get her. Just clip this.
Oh shit.
Clip this, send it to her, and then get your dick sucked, and then still send it to her dad.
And still rape her.
Yeah, I could try. He's got money, so I don't know. He's probably got some people he could find me.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. How old is she?
I was probably like early 20s, so she was like late teens, I guess.
Perfect.
Dang.
Yeah, good time, right?
Yeah, after that they just go downhill, you know. After they're like 25, it's just downhill from there for women.
I've seen a lot of like beautiful chicks before they really got into drugs just turn into like skeletons, like messes. It's like the chicks with like they stop taking care of their fake tan, so then it's just big orange blotchy shit everywhere. Like just
they have fake. Here in Arizona, you don't get. Here in Arizona, we don't get fake tans. We actually get real tans.
Yeah, you're lucky.
It's crazy. Yeah, like I'm really as white as you. I really am. But because I work in the sun all day,
look at me.
I turned brown. I became Mexican overnight.
Yeah.
White, brown, white, brown.
So I was telling you guys about the chick with that was born with both sex organs.
Oh yeah.
Told you about that, right? The trainee looking girl. So her and her boyfriend, they were big drug addicts. So she was fucking people for pills and stuff. So one day they called me to grab a gram of coke, and I went out to meet them. I met them at the bank machine, and they both come up to my car. I give the girl the gram, and she's like, "Oh, I just got to go to the bank machine and get the money." So she goes into the machine. I'm talking to the boyfriend. She runs back out. Oh, Zeus disappeared. Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
So she. Yeah, he told me that already. He outed himself already. So they go. She comes out of the bank machine. She's like, "Oh, I couldn't take any money out. Can you spot it to me?" And I'm like, "No way. I can't spot you guys. It's the only gram that I had left." And so they say, "Well, don't sell it because an hour from now we're gonna get the money and we're gonna come grab it." So I go home. An hour goes by and I'm looking at the bag and I'm thinking like, I want to do a line out of this now. So I open it up and I pour some out. And I'm looking at it and it's fucking. She had gone to the bank machine, chipped drywall off the wall, switched the bags, and kept the coke and gave me the drywall, thinking that I wouldn't know or they'd get away with it. And so I'm like, instead of no, luckily like I could feel the texture of it and shit that I wasn't. And so I'm like, I can confront them or I can wait a couple days. They'll think they got away with it and they'll want to buy some more and I'll just sell them the bag back. So that's exactly what happened. A couple days go by, I end up selling them the same gram of drywall or whatever it was back. And then 20 minutes later, I get a text message, and the boyfriend's like, "Oh, we're even. You got me, but I want to grab another half gram." So then I fucking chipped off a piece of a bar of soap and sold them that, and then I never saw them again after that. Just fucking tried to get over on me. They almost got over on me quick there.
Damn.
Quick thinking.
I had somebody sell when I was smoking meth. I had somebody sell me like rock salt.
Yeah, I was thinking
we fucking put it in the pipe and it wouldn't fucking melt. What the fuck is not melting? It's not melting. It's not melting. And then it was like 2 days later. We actually had shit and we were selling it. And the dude that had got that shit for me, he came over and he was asking for a 20, and I gave him a fucking dime. Just started shorting him.
Robert, you're holding it too close to your mouth. It's
Fuck
not
you.
a dick.
She just holding back the rock salt.
Hey, put it in your shirt, like right here. It's gonna pick up your.
So I got another good payback story about the kid Scruffs I was telling you about with the back hair and everything. Did I tell you guys so I told you guys about him drinking piss, right? That was the one I told you?
Yeah.
So he was telling me so he would hang out with me and my buddy at the place that I would sell stuff out of. And one night he was telling my buddy that he's like, Adam's lucky I'm his friend. I could steal shit. He'd never noticed.
Yeah.
Not thinking that he was. Did I tell you this already? Did I tell you the story already? Ah, shit. Okay. So I'm gonna have to cut that one out.
Tell it again.
Yeah, crawl into the. So I chopped up a bunch of Tylenol and baking soda shit all over the carpet, and he ended up scooping it all up out of the carpet, sniffing all the shit. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I hadn't told that one. There's a camera that I bought off a customer.
What's that?
Who's got drug stories?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So let's hear some.
One time this one, I was, this is not as bad as yours, nowhere near as bad as yours. My little drug stories are like when I was in middle school. I used to sell weed and a little bit of coke, but when you're in middle school, nobody wanted coke. They just wanted weed, and one time I made this fat guy with sandals and glasses suck my dick for weed, and the weed was. No, I'm just kidding. No, my drug story. That's the extent of my drug stories. I was just selling low level, nowhere near like what you were selling, and I remember like in high school I would make girls like I would make them like I would just fuck because they're like girls and they liked me and they thought I was cute, but they would like always they would always fuck like I'd make them bend over and or I'd smack their ass and I'd just like, all right, here you go, get some weed or something like that.
Trading weed for ass slaps.
Yeah, I mean it was just like little bit like bowls or whatnot, you know.
That's funny. That's
but
funny.
Yeah, they're yep.
That's where all your perverted started.
That's why they call me.
Remember,
what do they call me?
That's why they call you the violator.
That's why they call me the violator.
Zeus, were you around for MSN Messenger, or were you too young for that?
MSN Messenger, I think I was like the butterfly.
Yeah. That's
like yeah.
So fucking. So when I was younger, I grew up with this kid across the street, and when I was like 12, I had a pager, and because I was disappear all the time as a kid, so my parents got me a pager to try to keep in touch with them, and the mom saw me with the pager, and she's like, made the prediction. She's like, one day you're gonna be a drug dealer. You shouldn't have a pager this young, whatever. And so eventually I did. I was selling weed and shit, and then I was talking
Your mom is setting you up to become a drug dealer. She's like buying you gold chains, pager, all the drugs. She's like, one day you're gonna be a drug dealer. I don't want you to do it.
So I'm talking to what I think was my buddy on MSN, and he's like, "Dude, your parents know you sell weed. What are they gonna, do they know you sell weed? They know you smoke weed and this and that." And I'm like, "Well, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna send me to jail and shit like that?" And 5 minutes later, there's a knock on my door, and it's the guy's. Shit. It was the guy's mom. Huh?
Oh shit.
I can hear you. So 5 minutes later, I get a knock at the door, and it's the guy's mom showed up at my door. She was pretending to be her son, talking to me on the internet, and fucking ratted everything out to my mom about selling weed and all this stuff.
Bitch.
And yeah, crazy.
I know, right?
Huge setup. And so then his sister, I was selling her weed too. And one day I went out to meet her, and she had just got this brand new car, and we're driving around. Right as I'm asking her about like how much is insurance, or like how much you pay insurance if you get in an accident, we're passing this school, and it's right after school. All the kids are out, the buses are out, parents are out everywhere. We're going straight down the street. Right as I'm asking about insurance, a lady pulls out of the parking lot, and we fucking T-bone her. And I panic, and I'm afraid. The only thing I'm afraid of is her mom finding out I was in the car selling her weed. So I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I jump out of the car and take off on her, and the whole school is staring at me, watching me run down the road. And then the cops asked, like, why did the kid run from the scene? And luckily she said, oh, he had to go to a job interview. And it turned out she broke her collarbone in the accident, and I just fucking took off on her.
Dude, she could have been dead, and you just fucking left, dude.
She didn't see.
She could have been paralyzed.
What would have been funny though? She broke her fucking collarbone. You grabbed her by the shoulders. I gotta get the fuck out of here! You're all shaking her with a broken collarbone, and then you fucking take off.
It's pretty intense.
Mijita, go inside. Sorry, guys.
It's adult conversations, Zoe.
Go inside. I know. Go inside. I might let this out, guys.
Why?
Yeah. Okay. You guys played Nicky Nicky Nine Doors as a kid, eh? Or Ding Dong Ditch?
I used to play, yeah, Ding Dong Ditch. What the fuck is the other one? Nigger Knocking. Yeah.
So we got tired of it, and we had to amp it up, so we started doing this thing called a leaner. And like, you get a small sized garbage pail, everybody pisses in it, fucking throw cigarette butts in it, all kinds of garbage. And then you lean it on their front door, and then you knock on the door and run away and watch. And you see as the bucket of piss pours over inside the house and fills up all inside the front door of the house and shit. That's a real good one. That one was a classic.
Damn.
I'd be pissed.
Damn, dude. How are you not in jail right now?
This was all the stuff like when I was a kid, so I got away. I got away with it all.
I know, but it just sounds like it keeps progressing harder and harder.
It did. It did, yeah.
Man. No, for me and Robert, I think I don't know. I mean, with Robert, you didn't go to you went to jail? Yeah, you did.
Or something, dude?
I've been to jail twice.
I've never been to jail. You see, that's a different type of lifestyle we live in. I've never been in jail in my life. And I mean, I've been brought home to my parents. I snuck out of the house when I was like 14, yeah. And I've been brought home by the cops. All my friends been arrested except me. It's
How'd your parents feel about that?
they were pretty upset, but I think they weren't that mad. My mom wasn't that mad, honestly. She was just like, damn, I didn't even know how you snuck out, you know.
I snuck out of my house once. My parents were waiting for me to sneak out, and then they locked the door on me when I left.
Oh yeah.
They caught me. I had to bang on the door to get in.
They were just trying
they
to.
didn't want me to come back.
They were just trying to have sex, dude. So like finally this dork left. Yeah. No. Robert, did you have to sneak out, or did your parents just not give a fuck about you?
Well, I lived with my mom. We lived out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so if I was to sneak out, I'd be walking for about a good 3 hours to get somewhere. So that wasn't happening. With my dad, I didn't have to sneak out. I could just, hey, I'm going somewhere. All right. And I'd just come home like at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, all drunk too, huh? Damn, dude. Your dad's a real ass, cool ass dad.
He would just tell me to be quiet because sometimes I would wake up my nana or my tata, grandma or grandpa for the Canadian up here.
Yeah, that's no, your dad doesn't seem like he gave a fuck about you.
No, he gives a fuck about me. He just like, because that's what he did when he was little, when he was young. Same shit.
Are either of you guys dads truck drivers?
No. I'm the first truck driver.
Either of your... Yeah, what about you, Zeus? Is your dad a truck driver or no?
No, my dad's dead.
Was it a truck accident?
He was standing out in the middle of I-10 and a truck came and hit him.
Oh man. No, unfortunately no. He didn't get fortunately, I don't know. He just got murdered by people in Mexico. That's as far as much as I know. They hung him.
Is this a true story, or are you telling Luis Gomez's story?
Oh no, this is a common thing with Hispanics.
This is why Luis is a spirit animal.
Really, eh?
One of the reasons
why Luis is my spirit animal.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, my dad didn't get stabbed though. He got hung. Yeah. He got hung off a bridge.
Really?
Yeah, in Mexico.
Holy shit.
But so I don't know if he was involved with something or something. But it's weird because he had an addiction too with heroin. But yeah. I didn't see that most of my life. I saw like a good dad that was like super hard on us, but like we loved him. And
yeah.
But we saw like, because he was a Christian pastor, so we saw that. I saw part of that life almost all when I was up to like 5 years old. That's what most of my sisters saw. It wasn't towards the end of that like where he got back addicted. He went back to his addiction that he died. So I don't know if he was involved. Yeah.
He got cleaned up for a while though, eh?
Oh yeah, for a long time, and that sucks because like I don't know, it just sucks. Yep.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But no, he's not a.
Yeah.
I know, right? No, and then when my daughter turns a certain age, I'm gonna die too. Just gotta follow my father's footsteps.
Yeah, you gotta keep the cycle going.
Yep.
I had a crazy cycle growing up. So in my neighborhood, I was like the weed dealer and the babysitter. So you said like all these moms that I sold weed to, I was also like the babysitter, and they would throw all these kids into one house at once. And over time, these kids like got to look up to me, and like I would see them out after I grew out of babysitting them. Like I'd throw money and change at them, and they'd all fight over the money like in the park and shit, and chase me around for money and shit. But then as I got older, they all ended up buying drugs off me and selling drugs for me. So it was like a fucked up neighborhood cycle.
Where would you get your drugs from?
There was always like the town was so small. Or, I don't know, actually, that's not right. There was always drugs around, but there was nobody that had enough to keep me going. So I'd always be playing off one guy and then getting off the next guy because I could never get enough, kind of thing. But it's always around. I guess it started like in high school from older brothers, like friends' older brothers, or one of the ladies.
How much is weed right now? Like, let's say, do you guys go by like dime sacks or nickels or whatever? Like, what do you guys do?
It's all our metric system, right? So grams and ounces.
9mm,
So, like
22.
cocaine's probably more expensive.
Millimeters,
up there, huh?
yeah. I guess it depends how much you're getting, but
well, like how much would you pay for if you wanted to get an 8 ball? How much would an 8 ball be?
I guess average would be like 200.
Damn.
Something like that. Yeah. What would you guys say there?
Well, when I was getting 8 balls and I was doing it like every weekend, it was like a regular thing. I was getting it for like 85 bucks.
For 3.5 grams for $85?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I figured it'd be more expensive up there too because it has to travel from.
Oh, you guys are right at the fucking border.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right there. No wonder that shit is so cheap. Damn.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah, I think the cheapest. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because when I was doing it, the guy that I was getting it from was my friend who's actually in prison right now for murder. His little brother was selling it. His little brother, their stepdad was from Tijuana, and they went down to fucking Tijuana and they fucking brought like a fucking bag like that of coke, like fucking 2 pounds. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just fucking.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was getting 85 bucks for fucking 8 balls and shit. It's pretty cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, the cheapest I was ever getting it was like $700 an ounce, so $25 a gram it worked out to. So it was probably actually pretty close to that after you do the math.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty close to the same, yeah. I mean, that's
hey, Robert,
the most I ever saw, or like.
Hey Robert, why did your friend go to prison?
Oh, because he murdered his girlfriend and 3 or 4 of her friends.
Holy shit.
I guess they got in a fucking crazy fight. I'm pretty sure he was high on meth. And he fucking drove from his house to her house, which is about a good, 100 miles, 150 miles, with another dude, and they had guns, and they fucking just kicked the door down and started fucking shooting and killing everybody. I think only 2 people got away because they ran out the back door.
Jeez,
dude, was she having a gangbang orgy or what? Was his girl getting like?
No, well they had broken up. I guess they had broken up, and he was just like so pissed off at her because she kept the kid.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
So there was a kid involved.
I don't know the whole story.
There was a kid involved?
I believe so. I know. Last time I ever talked to him, he was saying how she was pregnant. He was happy he was gonna be a dad. That was like the last time I ever fucking talked to him.
The guy that when I went to jail the first time, when they were warning me about you have to watch out for this guy, and it turned out I knew him. So that guy did about like 6 years in jail for robbery prison for all kinds of robberies, shit like that. And when he came out, so he's like a serious gangster to where people didn't even want to hang out with him because he's way too hard. But if he showed up, you couldn't tell him to just fuck off because then he'd rob you in the street or something, right? So he'd show up at my buddy's back door where we'd all hang out and shit, and we really couldn't tell him to leave or whatever, right? So we'd have to hang out with him.
Right.
And he'd tell us stories of keeping 2 shanks in his asshole all the time. Like he always had 2 knives in his ass and stabbing people and getting stabbed and having to get shipped to different penitentiaries because he's going to get killed or kill somebody. So he was out for less than a year, and him and a couple other guys ended up beating another guy to death. And then he went back in for, I think he only did 2 years for his involvement in like beating this kid to death, and then he's back out now. But yeah,
how much time do you get?
I don't want to see him.
How much time in prison do you typically get for murder in Canada?
I think life here might be 15, like parole after 15 maybe.
For us, it's like what, 25?
I think
life 25 is life, or 25 and parole.
Is considered 20 or 25 years. Some shit like that.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
That's why they start stacking them up, consecutive life sentences.
Unless you're native, the government doesn't give a fuck about you. You'll get like 5 years in prison. If you live, because here in the U.S. we have a lot of we live next to, in Canada too, you get the first indigenous people. We call them Indians over here. Yeah. Or Native Americans. But we have the tribes over here. If natives kill one another on their land, they get like 5 years in prison. Which is crazy.
They have their own police up here too. There was a reserve 45 minutes from my place here, and that's when you go to buy smokes and gas because fucking everything's so cheap.
Yeah, and also over there, it's is it illegal to drink alcohol on the reservation?
I don't know.
It is over here. you can't, and it's
Not
crazy because
not all the reservations, but most of the reservations.
Is that why gasoline is so popular?
Well, what?
Probably.
Is that why often gasoline is so popular?
Yeah.
That's why their cheekbones are so high, waiting for the liquor store to open.
That's fucking funny, man. Just do this. No, yeah, because a lot of, and it's crazy because a lot of natives, they have really bad alcohol addictions. It's so crazy, man. It's like,
a lot of suicides
but
too.
they can't handle, and they can't handle their, how do you say? They can't handle their liquor or alcohol.
It's a genetic, isn't there a genetic thing to it?
Yeah, it's like a genetic thing to it too.
Like Asians, some type of Asians have some alcohol thing where they don't process it properly.
They turn red.
Yeah, they get red. Yep.
Yeah.
They get all blotchy and shit.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, that's why I can't drink anymore. Yeah.
So what would you say you are, Adam? Like as far as race or ethnicity? I know you're white, but like white people always go, oh, I'm actually French, or I'm actually I'm Irish or something like that.
Yeah, my mom's side's Scottish. I don't know. Like when I had hair, it would be brown, but then my beard would kind of grow out red at a certain point, and I guess that's like the Scottish part of me. But my dad's side, I don't know, is Canadian as far as I would know.
What do you guys call black people up there? Like black people that are born in Canada? Like we call them African Americans. That's like the proper.
We call them niggers over here.
We don't call them niggers. We don't call them African Canadians.
Hey, darky. Hey, darky over there.
I guess black people usually just is good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, our black people are starting to get really sensitive. We're like, you can't call them black. You can't call them nigga. You can't call them
person of color.
You can't call them. I call them colored people, but they get mad at that. What else? They just have a bunch of names. They're never satisfied. Now that I think they're back to African American.
I think back in the 70s they called them Afro Americans.
Yeah, that was a popular one.
They even used to be called Negroes back then, but now you can't.
Yeah. What's niggardly mean? Niggardly is late or something?
Stingy?
Maybe it's stingy.
What is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stingy.
Yeah, it's a real word. And
do you guys ever use how do you say? Do you guys ever use the word fuck? Can't even think. Never mind. Fuck it. I had a brain fart right now.
So Rob, you're closer to my age. So when I was younger, porn magazines and like actual porn VHSs were hard to find. What kind of movie? Like what movie did you jerk off to? I remember Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio painting Rose naked.
Like
I jerked off to that scene. Yeah. I jerked off to that scene so many times that the VHS tape, it wouldn't play in any of the VCRs. It fucked the tracking up on it. Fucked the whole tape. I could draw her with my eyes closed.
For me, it was the opening scene of, I think it was Carrie. When they're walking through
the girls' bathroom.
The girls, like a girl's shower and there's a bunch of naked girls. That.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then there was
I thought you were saying when the blood comes down.
Oh, period blood.
Yeah.
That, and I don't know. You ever see that movie Porky's?
No, I don't think so. I think I know the name. I don't think I've seen it.
They show like tits and shit in that movie. That and like Revenge of the Nerds.
I've heard of that one too.
The first Revenge of the Nerds has a lot of tits in it. And I think I would just I would watch those. I wouldn't really jerk off to them. I would use that was when I was able to use my imagination.
Yeah.
And then I was actually telling him yesterday, there's a swap meet in Tucson, and there's like a couple of places where people just sell DVDs, and if you go to the back of the DVD thing, it's all the porn. And I'd go fucking pick out the porns, but I'd have my cousin buy them because he was old enough to buy them.
Yeah.
So that's when I started I was probably 15, 16.
I remember I was watching as a kid. I was watching horror movies really young, and I was really into the Jason movies, Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So much because there was always tits, lots of gore, and it warped my head up so much that so when I would play with my sister's friends. Playing with my sister's friends was putting on a Jason mask, chasing them with a plastic machete and dry humping them. Fucking terrible, terrible shit. Those horror movies and violent video games really fuck you up.
Like, this is what adults do, right? No, I was gonna tell you too. I'm not that much younger than you guys. Like, me and Robert were having this exact conversation the other day, and he was like, "Oh, well, back in my day, we didn't have on our phones. We had to like actually it was hard to come by." He said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But
You
I was
stumble,
like,
you
I grew up
stumble
like
on your
that too.
dad's, you stumble on your dad's fucking porno magazines, like all the Playboys and shit.
Well, not my dad,
Yeah.
but it was hard for it to come by for me too growing up. But I know exactly for the movie. My movie was American Pie, always.
Yeah, Nadia for sure,
Always.
Fuck,
Always.
she's hot. Yeah, she's good, man. What was the other one? Fucking. Yeah, a lot of man. I was so desperate. Oh, we fucking lost Zeus.
Fucking bitch. Why do you keep
There he is.
disappearing?
I've
People
been
keep calling me.
so desperate back then
Pisses me off.
to find something to jerk off to. I've jerked off to the instructions on the inside of the tampon box of the girl inserting the fucking tampon in her.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
I remember going to the doctor when I was little, like doing like the physical examination and shit. And then you go to the bathroom to take a piss or whatever, and on the wall it would have like a layout of how to pee in a cup.
It showed a penis.
But
it showed a penis of a diagram.
It would show like a drawn vagina, how a girl needs to pee in the cup. That way she doesn't touch the rim of the fucking of the cup. And I would just be sitting there like, ah.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I had an old science book.
The science book.
I had an old science book that was like the same thing. It was like the anatomy and everything. So it was like a dick at the side view with the balls and all the veins and shit. And then same with the vagina and the fucking. Yeah, I always went back to that book. I was always drawn to those. Surprised I wasn't a serial killer, man. And being drawn to those images, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
man.
when my dad first got a computer. And it was back when like dial-up internet was the thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I had just got to my dad's house and I was on the computer just messing around because he just got it. So I was, trying to find a website to play games. And my older cousins walk in the room. They go, "Hey, go to ampland.com." And I'm thinking ampland.com is going to be about stereos and speakers and shit because amps. Fucking go there. And the first thing it says, you must be 18 to enter this website. I was like, okay, click. Fucking porn. I was like, oh, how did I get this off the screen? Because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was freaking out, and then I was like, oh, fuck it. I started clicking on shit. And this was before I knew about the history tab.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know about that for the longest time. I remember I got picked up from the skate park with one of my buddies, and it was my mom and my aunt in the front of the car. And right in front of my friend and my aunt, my mom's like, I was checking the search thing, and what is Spice Girls nude? It's like, Spice Girls naked, I guess. Fucking, I was searching up. Fucking, even that Spice Girls movie that they came out with, I think I jerked off to that one too as a kid. All kinds of shit.
I remember that stupid
movie.
Oh man, Robert he just lent me a couple movies to watch. Have you ever seen the movie Thousand Corpse? House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah, that one's pretty gory.
What about the what was the other one called? Devil's Rejects?
Yeah.
Those are both good. Yeah. I'm a big movie buff. I've spent like fucking I don't even know how many hours watching movies.
So you've seen Spun?
Spun's good too. Yeah, Spun's an alright one.
Yeah. So those are the 3 movies I'm gonna watch. Cause he lent me the DVD. I know it's crazy people still use DVDs.
Yeah.
But so he had it. He's like, yeah, I'll let you borrow it.
Dude, you seen the shelves? You seen my shelves?
Yeah, Robert has a crazy amount of DVD collection. It's so crazy. I'm like, dude,
I
why?
probably have over fucking 300 DVDs.
Yeah, nice. I used to collect them too. Like when I had money to waste on shit, I was collecting a lot of DVDs and VHS.
It's pretty much the only thing I've collected. Like ever since VHS, I used to just collect VHSs, and I would collect like the first and like whatever. If I liked the part, even if I just liked part 2 of a series, I'd buy them all. That way I had them all. And that's why I still do that, but now I do it with DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I look at that big crazy collection and think of all the money I fucking wasted on it. Like what other shit I could have been spending the money on.
Well, that's what I think of when I think of all the money I spent on drugs too. I'm like, fuck, I think I spent like in 1 week like $1,000. Just fucking
damn.
Yeah, what do you Zeus? What have you been spending your money on?
I usually lately, dude, this is what I've been spending my money on.
The gay ass clubhouse.
You see that little contraption up there?
Yeah.
It goes. It's a clubhouse.
Are you building
and
a
I'm
second
building
story
that.
under your?
Yeah, 2 stories. It's pretty cool. My daughter likes it. You know, I've been putting some money into that. I just hope the city doesn't come by and go, hey, you need to tear that
Yeah.
down.
It's a
Oh
doghouse.
man, I'll be pissed. It's a doghouse.
You'll be lucky if ICE doesn't show up trying to fucking take you away. They see you building that shit out there.
This is gonna be a house
so
for
we need to see
a
your
family
contract.
of fucking 6.
So you need to see your contractor's licenses all out of code. Fuck, dude. Yeah. I can't believe people here in Arizona want to get rid of ICE. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me, man. It's so hot over here. You leave a drink out here and your water gets fucking warm faster without ice. You know, it's just the craziest thing ever. I just see these protests saying abolish ice. I can't get behind that.
Jeez.
Fuck, I like my drinks cold.
Yeah, keep our drinks cold. Keep ice. Come on, man. Yeah, that's what I put my money on. I don't know. I don't really. I just pay bills most of the time. I don't have a drug addiction. Every once in a while I'll buy beer. Last night I drank beer. I watched the UFC fight. Do you watch the UFC? Adam? Do you watch the UFC?
I mean, I used to watch it more than often, but I don't watch it too often, no. I'll, like, watch some highlights kind of thing. Knockouts.
Yeah. That's what I watch is the UFC. Really great fight last night. I just won $10. My brother-in-law called me saying, hey, man, you gonna watch this fight? I said, yeah. He goes, dude, that dude's gonna get fucked up. And I go, nah. Israel Adesanya's got it. And sure enough, he wanted to bet like $20. I'm like, nah, that's too much. You know, I don't want to get into gambling. So I bet $10.
Yeah.
So he owes me 10.
Big spender, eh?
Yeah. But I don't buy cigarettes. I'm not an alcoholic.
Anymore.
I'm not anymore. No, I can get addicted sometimes, so I'll take a break like for months, so like throughout the year, and I'll say no to having a drink, and my family will be like, why, what's going on? You know, like I'm like, I just don't want to drink. It's fine, you know. And they're like,
yeah,
but
you can take a
but
break.
you know, then when I feel comfortable again, I'll start drinking again, and I won't get. It's just usually I notice usually when I make a fool out of myself is when I'm like, all right, I need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think we've all been there, right, with alcohol.
You realize that the next morning, all the dumb shit you said. No, I hear you.
Okay. Because Robert's face looks stuck. He's just like this.
No, I'm trying to figure out like all the dumb shit I've done before. And like you wake up the next day.
Oh man, what's the most embarrassing? You know, like
so, Rob,
you know what like sucks. That the embarrassing parts that suck on your head, that they stick in your head more than anything else. Your mind just sometimes they block it out.
I blacked out one. I remember blacking out one time. We're drinking all day.
I blocked it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob. Let's hear the blackout story.
I know. Well, we're drinking all day. It was one of those like a fishing trip. It was me and my buddies and some bitches, and we're drinking all fucking day. I was drinking all day. I was fine. Just drinking all day. And the last thing I fucking remember was some old man coming from another camp and handing a bottle of Seagram 7. Last thing I remember doing is looking at the bottle of Seagram 7 and going like that, and waking up the next day with a busted lip and throwing up.
You thought you got herpes?
I thought I got herpes. Apparently I got a fight because another guy, because we're all partying and shit, and another guy had like a big ass fucking like a jug of Jose Cuervo. And I just fucking, like a dickhead, just fucking grabbed it from him and I started chugging the fucking bottle. And they said I drank about that much of the fucking gallon of Jose Cuervo. So I just started, and the guy fucking took it from me and we like got an argument and shit. And then I guess I was drunk. I went to swing at him and he fucking bam! And just walked away.
yeah, he didn't want no more. Yeah, he didn't want any more than me.
I only ever blacked out one time. And it was, I was up all night doing coke and shit, and I couldn't sleep, so I took like a handful of these Seroquels, which are like kind of like tranquilizers, sleeping pills, and they didn't work, so I was still up till the next morning, and I don't know what made me think of it, but I decided to go for a drive. And right as I'm like driving, all these sleeping pills fucking hit me at once. And I don't remember pulling over. I don't remember turning the car off. Nothing. But it was 6 o'clock at night, like when I remember leaving the house. And then I woke up with my fucking head on the steering wheel, and I look up. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, so it had been 8 hours. I was passed out on the side of the road, like dead on my steering wheel, and nobody had stopped. Nobody called the cops. Fucking nothing. They just fucking left me there. Crazy.
And no cops drove by either?
Damn.
No, I got lucky, man. I mean, I got lucky. I don't remember pulling over at all. I got so lucky.
Dang.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
So
I just wanted to say I have to cut this podcast short in 10 minutes.
All right.
But,
all right.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. All right.
Why? What are you gonna do? What are you planning on? You gotta build that clubhouse?
I gotta. Yeah, too. But I gotta cook for my daughter something and clean dishes and stuff like that.
Cook for her. Just tell her to
All
fucking throw a pack of cheese in the microwave.
Huh? Oh,
Should I give a shout out to the sponsor just so that they don't cut us off?
Yeah.
All right. This episode is brought to you by Boy Scouts of America. Scouting, adventure, fun, character leadership, and so much more. Fun facts, Boy Scouts of America has filed for bankruptcy. They have so many child sex abuse lawsuits that they've gone broke. We all know sexual abuse is the gift that keeps on giving. So learning to tie those nooses will come in handy for when those kids that were the hunted become the hunter and they can't handle the guilt or shame anymore. Building those fires also help with destroying evidence. And that's it. Boy Scouts for America.
I makes me want to join, dude. As a
only one I got for today.
It makes me want to join.
Would it be weird? Like, let's say you were in the Boy Scouts and you were the kid that wasn't molested. Would you feel like there would be something wrong with you because you weren't molested?
You probably would, yeah.
All your friends are talking about how great of a BJ that you get when you join.
Oh, this guy touches your ass. He fondles you, and you're like, well, he hasn't. I've been in here for 5 years. He hasn't done anything to me.
You probably would feel left out.
Your friend that's been in there for like a week, he's like, he got tossed around through all the fucking troop leaders.
You know those guys, when those troop leaders, they once they get caught, they always keep it inside the Boy Scouts thing, so they end up just being shipped off to another
like the priest.
Just like the priest, just like the cops, they just get rehired into another area.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's like the Catholic Church. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Never. I was thinking about what if we. I was thinking about if I ever have a son, I'd like him to join the Boy Scouts. But actually, now that you brought that to my attention, never mind. And the reason I wanted him to do it is so he can have some like craft skills of like being in the wilderness. But no, after that, never mind. Fuck that.
Would you ever put your daughter in the Girl Scouts?
No, that's too lame.
They make them go out there and fucking sling cookies and shit.
Yeah, no, that's too lame. I don't think so. Not the Girl Scouts. Right now my daughter is in jiu-jitsu, so that's pretty cool. Nice. Yeah, I actually would like her to be in the UFC one day.
Yeah.
And I want her. I want this podcast to be like, oh look, he even mentioned he said the future 20 years ago before he entered the UFC when he was calling everybody a nigger.
Yeah. How long has she been doing that for?
She just started, but she sprained her ankle. She started maybe 3 months now. She just entered, and she sprained her ankle. But she loves it, man. She loves it, and so she hasn't been going in for the past 3 weeks. But she should be going next week again.
She got some weak ankle.
That's a rough start. Yeah.
Not for me.
Trying to get a quick screenshot here in this thing.
It's not my fault. I had to I leg sweeped her. It's not my fault. She has weak ankles.
Yeah, my kid's been doing karate for 6 years now, and he's a junior brown belt. So he's a brown belt, and his next step is a junior black belt. But that's not gonna be for a while because that coronavirus has fucked everything up and slowed everything down.
Hey, Adam, have you ever been in a fight?
I've been in a few, but I avoided conflict a lot. I was able to talk my way out of a lot of shit. I ran from a few fights just because I guess I pussied out. A lot of times I think about it and I wish I had have fought for myself more, but I just thought it was safer to like, usually if somebody's going to fight me, it's because they want to take my shit. So I'd better off running and not losing anything than getting knocked out and having my shit taken. I had a guy one time, I was going to go meet him to sell him something. And the time before that, I had sold him a bunch of, like, I sold him basically all cut. Like, it was supposed to be a ball of Coke, but it was all cut. Like, it wasn't fucking anything. And then then I didn't talk to him for maybe, 3 weeks after that. And then I get a message from him. He's like, oh, I need to grab another ball. And, he's like, it's not the same stuff as last time. And I'm like, no, it's different stuff. And then, so we set up a time. And then I get a message from him like 5 minutes later saying, okay, he's going to be on this street. He usually carries a lot of money. He wears a lot of gold and fucking this and that. So the guy was trying to set me up, but he sent the text message to me instead of the guy that was going to rob me. And I'm like, dude, you fucked up so bad. Fucking, you're never going to grab off me again and whatever. But, yeah, I guess I've been robbed a couple times, maybe only once or twice, like face to face. Other times was like I spotted something and they fucking took off with it, or I left something in somebody's car and then it fucking disappeared. Shit like that. But I haven't been in too many fights.
Have you ever had do Canadians carry guns at all? Is there guns in Canada?
I mean, I'm sure I know some do. They're pretty easy to get here too. Like if you don't have a criminal record and you're not like on a list of being mentally ill or something, you can pretty much you can get pistols and everything else.
As long as you're not retarded.
Fuck. Yeah, pretty well. But I'm on the list. So I can't get one.
Oh yeah.
So you're retarded.
They're proving his point.
I've got a lifetime ban. I've got a lifetime ban, so I can't unless I somehow want to become a cop or something like that. I'll never be able to get one. But
damn. You mean like the fucking
a lot of
British
people
cops
do.
who just have a baton?
The Bobby, the English Bobby, yeah.
Yeah, that's I think here I've had a couple guns pulled up on me growing up, but it's never like a couple times I never felt like my life was in danger. You just never know. Like you're like, that person's not gonna pull the trigger. The first time ever.
If you got one on you.
Yeah.
If you got one on you, that's how you feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've growing up when I was 11, this girl that I used to go to her house, and she was like a fat girl, and we used to. On my 11th birthday, she got me high by smoking some weed with her, and she was a lot older. Her dad was the one she got all her weed from her dad. I guess he was like a drug dealer, like a Mexican ass drug dealer, and that's the first time I ever got high. And she pulled out a gun out of his safe, and she pointed right at me, and I was just like, oh shit, is that a real gun? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then, but I was there, like, but just looking back at it, I'm like, damn, dude, like, what a dumb bitch. She could have fucking.
Close.
I never, like.
What if she fucking would have pulled the gun out like that and then, like, try to rape you? Like, try to start sucking your dick and shit? Like, I'm gonna get that dick.
I was like, I don't know.
You didn't have to use a gun, bitch.
So the first gun I ever bought was off this kid that we called, his nickname was the Wacky Packy. So he would always, every time I go to meet him to sell him blow, he'd have like some kind of samurai sword or, fucking all kinds of replica guns and shit like that. So I'd always buy these replica things off him, and he talked about getting, he's like, he can get C4 and all kinds of shit, and I'm like, he's just full of shit, right? And so I tell him, like, if you can get something real, I'm like, call me when you get it, and I'm gonna buy it right away. And so one day he calls me, and he's like, bring a gram of Coke, and I'm going to give you a bag. He's like, don't look in the bag until you get home. And I'm thinking, like, well, fuck, I'm going to look at it as soon as I get out of the area. But so I go, I give him the gram, I take the bag, and buddy's driving me home, and I open it up, and it's a sawed-off shotgun with, like, 50 shells in it, and double barrel. And so I never even got to shoot this thing. And I guess I was lucky, too, because he never, like, rifled the barrel. So it turns out he had stole the gun from his dad's closet, sawed off the end, and then fucking sold it to me. And so I had told too many people about it to where I decided, like, hey, I have to sell this gun now because too many people know I have it. So I sold it to a mutual friend of the both of us. And then the kid's dad realizes that his gun's been stolen out of the closet. He calls the cops. So then the son has to track down the kid that I sold the gun to. He has to go return the gun. And fucking just a big crazy story. So the kid was always talking about having crazy connections with weapons, and he was just like stealing fucking things out of his dad's closet. It was the whole thing. Yeah, he was fucked up.
That's funny. No, That's funny. Yeah, that's how most kids get their guns from their parents.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
so.
when go for it.
Yeah, my dad always had so he had a couple shotguns and like a little revolver that he kept in the closet all the time. And as a kid, I was always playing with it. Like I would always be in the closet fucking around with the gun. And
You haven't came out the closet
sometimes
yet?
I'd be out. No, I try to stay in there as long as I can. So sometimes I'd point out the window, like not out the window, but from the glass, like pointing the guns out people out my kitchen window and shit. So I guess a neighbor had seen me doing it and told my parents, and then my mom made my dad get rid of all the guns. And fucking that was the end of that
but
one.
it'd be a lot easier if he just got a safe. You know?
Yeah. I would have broken into there. I would have stolen the key and fucking got in.
Probably.
For sure.
No, that's what I'm gonna do when my daughter hits a certain age. Right now, I just have it in my drawer, I have it everywhere, you know. But at a certain age, when she gets a little older and she can like
on the coffee
it back,
table.
you know. Right now, her little it's on the coffee table. I'm like, hey, Zoe, you know, no, but eventually I'm gonna have to put it in a safe or something like that, you know. And I have a safe. I just don't want to put, you don't put it in your safe, you know, like
you need to
when
get it out right in time, right?
If somebody's breaking in, I'm like, hey guy, hold on, let me just punch in my code for my safe and open the fuck no.
So that's the thing with Canada is you have to have your ammunition and your gun locked separately in a separate thing. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Rob? You had something there.
No, I was gonna say, have you ever seen that video? It's some like a Middle Eastern wedding, and this dude has like a Glock or something. He's shooting the fucking Glock, boom, 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 boom. He's drunk, and he fucking he gives the gun to like his 2 or 3 year old kid, and the kid's like that holding it, like can barely fucking hold the gun, and fucking pulls the trigger and shoots the dude in the stomach, and it comes out.
I saw that one. Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah, do you ever go to crazyshit.com?
Crazyshit.com.
Yeah, so I haven't been there, but I heard you guys talk about it.
Yeah. Go incognito.
Sponsor.
Make sure your wife's not around or your kids. Check out crazyshit.com.
So there was this website. Yeah. Go ahead, Zeus. Let's hear your story.
I was just gonna say I only go there really mainly for the. I used to go there for the gory stuff, but now I'm kind of bored by that. And I usually now just go there for the fights. They're really good street fights and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I used to love the gore, but as I've gotten older, I don't like the gore much either.
Yeah, I seen that video of that dude on Facebook Live when he pulls a shotgun, he shoots himself, and his fucking whole head just blows up.
Was that the one on TikTok?
No.
The recent one? No, there was one on TikTok that just happened.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dang,
traumatized a bunch of kids.
Dang. Yeah, I saw one on the one that Robert's talking about. He's out talking on the phone. I think it's his girlfriend. And he's just like, is that how you're gonna talk to me? Okay. And then he's
like, let's go, people. And then
he's Facebook live, and he like picks up the shotgun, and he goes, no hesitation, which kind of fucking balls right there, dude. You know, not even like, not just
I think that's
fucking
the one that I saw
boom. Too. And his head blows up. The sheriff's department comes in.
Like a second later, the fucking cops get there.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Pretty nuts.
You could just hear like the blood leaking on the floor because it's all quiet after there. It's just like a puddle of blood you can hear. It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild. There was so the last time I got arrested, Zeus, you might kind of like the story because the religious part of it.
Does it have poop? Does it have to shove shit up your ass?
No. So this is my lowest point. I was at rock bottom. I'd gone from like, delivering kilos and bags of money and fucking making tons of money to being a homeless fucking junkie. I was living in my car. Didn't have a license. I had just bought this beat up car. The plates were a dead guy's plates, so like stolen plates from a dead guy, and no insurance, nothing like that. And I would park out front of the methadone clinic so that for as soon as they opened, I could go get my drink. And so one day I was parked outside of the clinic and my car wouldn't start. I had no money, and I was out of gas and the battery was dead. So even if I got a boost, it wouldn't start because I had so little gas. So it was like this. It took like 6 hours. It was like 6 p.m. I was out on the corner of this parking lot trying to wave people down. Everybody, I just looked like a fucking junkie, so nobody stopped. And it was sometime like 11 o'clock or midnight. A pickup truck finally pulled up and stopped to help me. And could see all my clothes and baskets in the back. Like I obviously was living out of the car, but I tried to play it off like, oh, I'm just on my way to my parents to do laundry, shit like that. And he's like, just wait here. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I'll bring you some gas and fucking whatever. So he comes back, gives me the gas, boosts the car, and then he gives me a Bible. And he's like, oh, you should read this. You know, he's like, things will turn around. Things always get better. And I'm like, fuck off, whatever. Like, thanks for the gas, right? So I get in my car. I open up the Bible, a fucking $100 in cash the dude left in the Bible. And I was like, fuck, I need to go score some drugs now. And so fucking the next morning, I'm driving around. I go to a gas station to grab some smokes. And as I'm sitting there having some smoke, I'm looking through this little Bible. It was like a little pocket version. And I'm trying to find something on Adam and Eve, like some just to line up with my name. I'm trying to make some fucking sense of the world, right? Going through this thing. And I'm looking at the Bible having a smoke, and then there's a fucking knock on my window, which was not a window. It was a fucking piece of plastic because I had broken my window trying to get into my car because I had locked my keys in there. November in the winter, fucking sleeping in a car with a broken window. And it's a cop, a plainclothes cop, and he's like, get out of the car, fucking opens the door, pulls me out, and I look behind me, maybe like 5 or 6 other cars, undercover cars behind me. I had 2 starter pistols that were like modified so that you could have one in the chamber of each of them, and I had one in the side of my seat and one in the back somewhere or whatever. Pull me out of the car, they pull these guns out, and they're like, where were you fucking, an hour ago, this and that, just drilling me for shit. And they're telling me that my car matched a description of a bank robbery that had happened that morning. And so I had a bunch of phones, a whole bunch of shit, like I was ready for a getaway, like I was ready to fucking disappear, all my clothes and shit. And but I had no money. So they're convinced that I was this fucking big bad bank robber or the getaway driver or something. And so I ended up getting charged with the weapons because I had the lifetime firearm ban. And I ended up getting spent a year on house arrest, a year and a half on probation and shit like that. And but I finally got clean after that one. But the Bible twist was such a fucking weird thing. And not being religious at all. It was just so weird how the whole shit happened.
I wouldn't recommend you. Yeah, I wouldn't connect you with Adam and Eve, Adam. I would connect you more with Adam 22, Adam. I don't know if you know who that is.
What's that? No. What is it?
He's a guy. He's a white guy. He interviews rappers. He's pretty popular.
I thought you were giving me a real Bible character.
Oh no. No, I said you're more closer to that Adam 22.
Yeah, just look up No Jumper on YouTube.
Yeah, if you ever feel like watching some. Yeah, he's pretty popular. No, that's crazy, man. And that's the last time you that's when you started using clean?
Yeah. It was that day on November 19th, 2012, I guess it was.
Man, I'm actually pretty happy that guy gave you that Bible. It sounds pretty cool. He's representing for the team.
It's pretty fucked up. So I mean, at the time I was like, I'm getting arrested, I'm in jail, and I'm like, this is the fucking worst thing that could have ever happened. Like everything's already so fucked up. How could something like this happen? But it ended up being a blessing in disguise. Right? It changed my whole life. Yeah. Changed everything.
Good, man. That's good. That's really good. I'm glad. I'm always happy to see people that can thrive from addiction. Did you? I also saw something on your Instagram. You look like you were doing a stand-up comedy show. Are you a stand-up comedian?
No. So I want to be. I've never done it. I want to try it. So every time I go to one of these shows, and you're usually there for like 30 minutes waiting for the show to start, right? So a couple times I've gone up there, and I'm so tempted to start fucking telling jokes or something. But like I'll get my wife will take a picture for me while I'm up there, whatever. And so I've been so tempted so many times to start telling jokes, but then I pussy out and fucking walk off the stage every time without doing it.
You should try going to a Kill Tony show. Whenever
that's just they just do.
Yeah, whenever they do up again.
Traveling podcasts they do.
Yeah, it's Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband and some other guys. They basically,
I've heard of the show. I haven't.
Yeah, they draw names out of a hat, and if they draw your name, you go up there, you get a minute on stage uninterrupted.
Oh yeah.
And then they fucking clown the shit out of you afterwards.
Yeah, if you do that, they clown you. They which is pretty cool. It's pretty funny.
My opener is
you can't come to the US though.
Yeah, I can't do shit in the States. I think even if I did get good, I can't get famous because I'll get Me Too'd fucking way too fast anyway.
That's why I gotta be like Joey Diaz and just Me Too yourself.
Yeah, yeah. That's what a lot of these
so you
like
gotta spill all these
stories
the beans. You gotta spill all the beans on this podcast before you get famous.
Yeah, I gotta wrap myself out for everything first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was practicing stand up at my Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and I think I've got like 5 minutes clean, but maybe 1 minute is clean, the other 4 are on methadone. You have to be a junkie to get that joke. But yes, I think my opener is I come up and say, you know, I'm really nervous, but I took some advice, and I'm picturing you guys all naked and trans. Or no, sorry, picture you guys all naked. Fuck, I can't even remember what the fucking line is now.
Ooh.
Good. Yeah, I know. See, I would have bombed. I would have bombed right away.
Fuck off the stage!
All right, a little nervous coming up here. After picturing you guys naked, I feel a little bit better. It's nice to see that this trans thing is catching on. There's a couple chicks in here that got dicks bigger than I do, and that's my first quick intro. I try to that right away.
I've never been that close to becoming a stand-up comedian. I don't think I could be ever, but I always thought like it'd be pretty cool to try. You know, who knows? Maybe I'm like the best one alive. I could barely clap right now.
I mean, you can't sing Pumped Up Kicks at a karaoke bar.
One time, dude, I kept telling the DJ, I used to work at a bar and grill, like sports bar. And and one day I went over there to grab a drink, and they have karaoke night. And I was like, hey, DJ, put the Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. You know that song? All the other kids with the pumped up kicks better run. Yeah. So
faster than the bullets. Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I love that song, and it's so easy. And I was drunk, you know. I'm like, oh, it's so easy. You know, fuck it, just put it on. I'll sing it. And it turns out there's a lot more lyrics to that song than just all the other kids better run faster than my bullet. That's the only part I knew. Everything else was like quiet, and I was just like trying to mum it. And fuck it, I sucked, dude. It was like the worst. It was the worst, man. I was pretty stupid.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I couldn't do karaoke. But...
Yeah, I don't know how to sing.
When I was in grade school, we had to do speeches.
Oh yeah.
We had to do speeches, and I always had terrible stage fright. Fucking, I would never volunteer. I would always be very last to do whatever the speech was or the presentation. And right before the second person before me, I would ask to go to the washroom, and I'd fucking never come back. And the teachers would have to come find me and fucking drag me to class to make me do the presentation. And then now I think I'm like, fuck, I should have just went first and got it over with, and it's fucking no big deal. But I was so afraid. Yeah, it was fucking just crazy.
I think one time it's weird because I'm usually horrible with speeches too. Like when I was growing up, they made me do the same thing. I have a presentation, get up in front of the whole class, and it's so weird because I never did it before. And I got up there, I prepared my little speech, and I remember it was like the most like terrifying thing. I was up and then I literally like there was like I was so nervous that I like blacked out almost, where like everything, like all my blood flow, something happened where I like pretty much was blacking out, and I was talking, and I was like, and then I was like, I was so horrible, and I just went back to my seat, dude. It was horrible.
Oh,
it was, like,
shit, you didn't even do it,
eh? I said a couple things, and I just like, and I sat down, and I was like, fuck this. I was so horrible.
I shit my pants in class once.
You did?
Yeah, it was silent reading. And I was always like the farter. See, I wasn't afraid of negative attention, but positive attention, like doing a speech or something, scared the shit out of me. So I was in the back of the class with my buddy Sergio, and I'm like, ready, I'm going to rip a huge fart, so everybody's going to hear it. And so I fucking rip it, but no sound whatsoever. And I'm like, oh no. I put my hand down my pants, fucking pull it out, shit all over my fingers. And I said, I'm like, this is grade 7, so like 11, 12. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go to the washroom, and I fucking run to the washroom. Maybe the best friend I ever had. He never told anybody, never fucking leaked it to a soul about it. And,
that's a good friend. I would have told everybody.
Yeah. Another time I shit my pants. There was you know those big green electrical boxes that are out front of houses?
Yeah.
Like in small neighborhoods, people sit on them and hang out on them.
Transformers. They're called Transformers.
Yeah. So same thing. Me and my buddies were rollerblading around at the time. So this was younger, like grade 5, 10 years old. And so yeah, we're hanging out by the green boxes, and I'm like, oh, listen to this. I'm gonna rip a fart off this green box. I fucking go sit on the box. Fucking same thing, just like a low tuba type of sound, like a boom. And I'm like, oh fuck. Put my hand down my pants, fucking shit all over my hand. And then I did rollerblade home, trying not to let the shit fall out of my shorts on the way home. Fucking terrible.
Oh man, I have a similar story you reminded me of. I was at work, and I used to be the irrigation. I used to be landscaping, but I used to also be. At one point, I became the water technician kind of deal, and that's where you
Yeah.
go and fix sprinklers or you fix the water lines that are in the on the ground. You dig it up, you patch it, pretty much. You know, you replace, you make a cut, and you connect the other two. It's like it's really easy, but it's hard. Um, and I was they gave me my own little truck, and I gave a ride to another coworker of mine that I used to work with doing the landscaping. And he's like, "Hey, I need to go to the restroom." I'm like, "All right, I'll give you a ride." So I put him in the truck, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, all the windows are up right now. I need a fucking fart. I feel it coming." And sure enough, I just fucking went, fucking, and then like this was towards like where we're going to the bathrooms. I was like, fucking tried letting one rip, but it was quiet. And then I was like, but I felt it. It was like all wet and just coming out, and I'm like, ah, fuck, dude. I'm like, son of a bitch. And I told him, hey man, let me use the restroom first, dude. He goes, okay. And then I fucking left. And I fucking ran in there, dude. Hopefully it didn't like seep, like the wetness didn't seep through my fucking pants. And I look, and I'm like, did I shit my pants? And I fucking look, and it's fucking like all wet and shit, brown.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, son of. I had to take my underwear off, dude. I wet it, and I tried washing them, but I'm like, they're too wet, you know, they're still too
Toss 'em.
wet.
Yeah.
I fucking threw them, dude. Yeah. And so I couldn't put them back. So the whole day I went commando.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. But he didn't
So
fight. He didn't. I thought he knew, but he didn't. I don't think he did. He didn't say anything.
you got lucky.
Yeah.
So before I mentioned the last episode, before I was like really selling drugs, that I used to break into houses and shit for my weed habit. And so one of the first houses that I broke into, I did ecstasy for the first time, and I was 15, and it was the middle of winter, and a buddy did it with me. And so we had nowhere to go. We were too fucked up at the end of the night to go to our houses, and so we knew where the key was under a mat for this vacation house. So we go to this house, we take the key out, fucking tweaking on ecstasy, and we get in the front door, and we both freeze. And I'm like, I hear somebody upstairs, and we're like, fucking, there's somebody walking around upstairs. About a minute of that, like incredible paranoia, realize that it's a bungalow and there is no upstairs. We're just tweaking. Like there's no second floor to the house, but we just hearing shit. And so it was a huge, like really big bungalow. So I had to take a shit because the excitement and then the pill and whatever. I go into this washroom, take a big shit, and left it. And then I left the washroom, and then I'm going like room to room, and I go into this other room. And the room has a washroom connected, and I open up the door, and there's this huge shit in the toilet. And I'm like, who would leave a huge shit in there before they go on vacation? And I was so fucked up, I forgot that was my shit that I just took. So after that, breaking into houses, I would always get like the anxiousness, like once I would get in the house. So I started leaving shits in the toilets of every house that I would break into.
Oh my god.
And then after that, I added on to it. I'd spray fire extinguisher all over the house before I left. Fucking terrible, crazy
B&E. Fucking horrible. You could just
shit
this
bandit.
shit, huh?
that was my signature. Yeah, it was good.
Fuck, dude. Like, you're just giving all these cops in Ontario a lucky break with this podcast.
Yeah, I think the statute of limitations is probably over now. Yeah. What was another one?
Man.
Yeah, shitting.
Fuck. Well, I think this podcast is good. I think we'll end it off right there. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah,
in
all
this,
right.
Wonderful sermon.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, guys.
Of course. And Robert, you fat fuck, don't fucking fuck up the audio this time.
Hey,
and I'll
fuck
get it up.
You. Don't go fucking hold fireworks anymore.
I won't. All right, guys. Peace out.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks again for having me.
No problem.
See ya.
Peace, bitches. As soon as you're fucking stupid and gay, bitch nigga.